Let me just tell you straight up, for real. I am so disgusted. I was so proud of you. I put a big all caps "Thank you, Jordan" tweet out there because I'm so sick and tired of people, herd animals, telling me about this democracy we have. You clearly don't have a democracy. You had zero primary, but they're trying to say the people have spoken. Joe Biden's the man. Liars. I mean, liars. And then they try to say that, hey, the people have spoken. Kamala. Nobody wanted Kamala. If you want to go by actual votes for things she's run for, no one wanted her. Not a soul wanted her. Not even her own party wanted her. And they put her up there as a trophy, as a token, literally, because she hasn't said shit for 4 years. She's been the border czar, and we have deported more people on Biden's watch than on Trump, and everybody was up in arms. But I don't want to be deported. I don't want deporting. It's happened on Biden's watch, folks. And when I read, if you put that letter that Kamala put out there, and you didn't say who wrote it, you blocked out Kamala's name, you would think that this was Trump and people would be trembling in fear over Project 25 rhetoric like this. That right there is disgusting. And if you're a lefty and you can find it in yourself to warp your brain, to somehow or another make her out to be an okay, something's not right. Something's not right.
Colin, let's play. I thought this was pretty powerful. Let's play a speech from an Orthodox Jew yesterday at the Netanyahu protest.
In our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians. I'm here with a contingent of the rabbinic community, rabbis, scholars, and students from the New York, New Jersey area. We are here, we are troubled and disturbed when war criminal Netanyahu stands up to address the Congress of the United States. He comes here supposedly representing all Jews and claiming that the Jewish religion supposedly condones his movement and the actions it carries out. He claims that the Jewish people are supposedly in a danger from their supposed enemies, the Palestinians, that supposedly want to drive us all into the sea. This is misleading propaganda in order to drive American politicians to blind support to what he calls the supposed self-defense. Zionism does not represent Judaism. Judaism is a religion only, while Zionism is a purely political movement. The state of Israel does not represent world Jewry. We have masses of Jewish people worldwide who publicly oppose, condemn everything Israel stands for.
Powerful words. By the way, Steve, to put you in a better mood, Mardinia, hope I'm pronouncing right, rearranged the time she's taking her children to the pool so she could watch you and I. Thank you.
Yeah.
You are a loyal viewer. The thing that really troubles me the most about this, I mean, listen, it doesn't matter. Democrats, Republicans, you burn a flag, you're unpatriotic, blah, 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 blah. I'd love to know what they think about the Native Americans at Standing Rock, some of whom burned the flag. I don't think they would dare call the Native Americans unpatriotic because that would go against their identitarian, soup bowl. Because I saw Native Americans, I think with good reason, burn the flag at Standing Rock. Not a peep from the Democrats on that being unpatriotic. But what I find most concerning, what about burning the U.S. flag is anti-Semitic? I'm almost beginning to think somehow the U.S. flag is connected to Israel, or somehow A split flag? I mean, hell, the only way you get John Fetterman to wear a suit is for the Prime Minister of Israel. I mean, again, I don't think it's anti-Semitic to say there's some powerful forces that happen to be tied to Israel and the Zionist movement that seem to be pulling a lot of these politicians' strings. Oh, and don't take my words, take it from the New York Times. This headline, Kamala Harris works to build bridges in the business world. And in this story, Miss Harris will have to assuage uncertainty in some quarters. However, about her position on the Israel-Hamas war, according to donors, Wall Street donors of both parties are generally sympathetic to Israel and Miss Harris, who have been more critical of the war in Gaza than Mr. Biden, will be closely watched to see how her policies compare with the president's. Indeed, the topic was the subject of some debate on the campaign's Wednesday afternoon call with donors, according to two people. Translated, you want us to open our goddamn vaults for you, Kamala? Or I want to pronounce it right, and not Kamala, sorry. You want us to open up our bank vaults for you, Kamala? Get in line and get behind the flag, not the U.S. flag, the Israeli flag. And listen, I have family. I don't hide it. My wife was born in Israel. Her mother is Israeli. I'm not against all Israelis, but a spade is a spade. Like, you cannot support any country, whether it's Israel, any country. Saudi Arabia that's been committing an ongoing genocide in Yemen, what Duterte did to the Philippines. I mean, we could go on and on, most of which, by the way, has been aided by America and blessed. But, I mean, this is unconscionable. And forget the Arab American vote in Dearborn. I mean, what makes you think when the majority polled in America, majority do not support what Israel is doing? What makes, if she's clearly taken the Hillary Clinton blueprint, which is we got to outspend Trump. Didn't work out for Hillary Clinton. She outspent Trump 2-1, still lost. Kamala is clearly saying we need the money and I will do whatever I got, including waving the Israeli flag. To hell with. At this point, there's been reports that it's closer to 150 to 200,000 have been killed. I mean, it's sociopathic behavior, which is par for the course for a politician. But more importantly, it doesn't bode well that you would get much different than Biden or Trump. She would be nicer about it. Maybe she'd have more sympathetic, lucid statements of sympathy to the Palestinians while she continues to provide them a blank check. Israel.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't buy any of that. I don't even think she'll be nicer. She just doesn't look like Donald Trump. That's about the dividing line there, right? I mean, seriously. Everything that she said in her rebuke, right? Everything they've said, Biden spent his time chastising the student protesters. Kamala, right on the lockstep with his policy.
By the way, not to interrupt you, but we should say right now it's being reported your governor, Josh Shapiro, might be chosen as vice president. I'm not saying this because he's Jewish. It's just the fact. He's been, going hard at pro-Palestinian protesters. He pressured a Pennsylvania college to fire the president because she didn't come out strong enough. You know, those college presidents at the congressional hearings. So it's not just her. It's potentially our next vice presidential candidate.
It's devastating, man. I don't even know how do you live in a world where you're watching babies slaughtered? I mean, I can't get the picture out of that little girl's jaw hanging from her mouth. Literally her jaw ripped from her face. They had a picture that just came out today where there was a girl that was in the fetal position. You could tell she was laying down hiding, and she didn't make it. She died. And it was just a little girl, like your daughter, my daughter, all your daughters. We're not talking about a highly developed, highly militarized anything. We're talking about people that are trapped, being moved and tired as they go from death march to death march to get worn down even further, only to then be targeted when they land there. Oh, there's Hamas there. We got to kill the terrorists, blah, blah, blah. You know, anybody that's standing up for the little people right now ain't the terrorist. I got to be honest with you. Anytime you feel compelled to say something about the terrorist organization Hamas, you've got to look at the U.S. and Israel, and you've got to stop that. I mean, when you are the one that is having your foot put on your throat, you have every right, legal right, to resist and fight back. And to act like they are somehow or another the terrorists. I can't even process that. I can't even force myself to get on team lie. I can't even I'm trying so hard to figure out where these people are coming and how someone could possibly allow the establishment to warp their brain to buy into that bullshit. I don't even know how you can do it. You have to almost not be a human, but you almost have to disassociate yourself from your soul to allow that to actually filter through and become your belief. And it's terrifying to me that people believe it.
Since I have you riled up, I want to, put the foot on the gas a little more. I was going to wait for the next topic, but I think this is a good place. Kamala got the permission of Beyonce to use her version of Freedom, which is pretty catchy. I'm not going to lie. I'm pro Beyonce. And she placed an ad. If you don't care about policy, facts, reality, it's a pretty good ad. If you do care about those things, it's an insult to your intelligence. I want to play this, and then we're going to get into the fact that it is a slap in all of our faces. Let's play that ad. First ad from Harris for president.
In this election, we each face a question. What kind of country do we want to live in? There are some people who think we should be a country of chaos, of fear, of hate. But us, we choose something different. We choose freedom. Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. Yeah, freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too. The freedom not just to get by, but get ahead. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom to make decisions about your own body. We choose a future where no child lives in poverty, where we can all afford health care, where no one is above the law. We believe in the promise of America, and we're ready to fight for it. Because when we fight, we win. So join us. Go to KamalaHarris.com and let's get to work. I'ma keep running because the winner don't quit on themselves.
Leni Riefenstahl would be proud.
So first of all, let me put the disclaimer because I know I'm going to hear from the Vote Blue stands and even some progressives who are, ready for Kamala and have put their morals to the side. This is not an endorsement for Donald Trump. He's horrible in his own right. But at the very least, he's not putting up bullshit ads like that. He's putting up America is a disaster. The American dream is dead. First of all, let me just cut the crap here. She said, you have a choice between, kumbaya and chaos with Trump. I got news for you. We already have chaos. Have you seen the last 9 months and what police have been doing to peaceful protesters? You see what police have done to Black Lives Matter protesters and indigenous people? Hey, even some white folks, they've been cracking skulls. We already have chaos. You see the hurricanes and the earthquakes happening in New York and New Jersey. You see Gavin Newsom, which we're about to talk about, is sweeping up homeless people in California and sending them into the Pacific Ocean. I wish I was kidding. I mean, I could go down the list. We already have chaos. Secondly, it's just it's a more friendly version with, kinder acoustics and articulation. Better optics. When she says we choose freedom, hey, Steve, not to blow up your spot, you've been having serious dental issues, which are crippling. Do you feel free that you have to basically sit there in pain because you can't afford to get your, whatever it is, root canals, nerve pain? Do you feel free if you're watching that you have to sit there with whatever pain you have because your health care is tied to your job and you might be out of work right now, or you might be a gig worker, or they might have you doing full-time work, freelance without health care? How free do you feel? You feel free if you're a homeless person right now getting swept up? I mean, it's a joke, freedom. And the Democrats could run on that message that we don't have real freedom. The problem is we don't have real freedom because of them and their donors. Freedom.
Ding, ding,
Give me
ding, ding,
give me
ding.
a fucking break. We have free country.